course of our work on both sides of the US-Mexico border, we encounter many people like those in this picture arriving from the south each day. But I'd love to share with you about people that arrive and visit with us from the north, from inside of the United States, people like Jake. Now, over the years, Jake had become increasingly bothered by immigration and border issues, and in order to make sense of it all, he had turned to social media and online platforms, and in doing so, he'd become fearful, dehumanizing people arriving from the South, thinking of them as other. Now, we see the story of dehumanization through history, and we know where that story ends because we've seen the Holocaust, we've seen slavery, we've seen genocides, we've seen ongoing wars and atrocities in the Middle East where I grew up. Abara exists to write a different ending to that story. We're building a borderland center that sits on a piece of property that is soaked in 500 years of history, including Spanish colonization over indigenous pathways. Sitting just feet from the US-Mexico border, our center is acting as a place of peace and transformation. And our programming works to transform the idea of the other into one of understanding. And we do this by walking with visitors through a journey of connection, learning, and action. At our Borderlands Center, we invite people to encounter the very diverse voices and stories of the Borderlands through shared meals, through conversations, through visits with community partners like church-run shelters that we support. And these experiences serve as a way to transform the perception of other into one of understanding, and ultimately a desire for meaningful action and continued learning. As we at the center as well, we invite people into conversations with a diverse group of voices, from Border Patrol agents to asylum seekers, as we learn about the history of the border and immigration, as well as diving deeply into the present-day realities. And this helps us move into meaningful action. Our goal is to reimagine what solidarity looks like. We inspire people to return home wanting to pursue action, whether that be advocating for justice, supporting the work in the borderlands, or even opening up their own homes to welcome immigrants. And we've seen this at work. Over 2,000 people have visited with us this past year, 300 of them for multi-day immersive experiences. 100% say they are better equipped to understand the border and migration. 91% of those say that it has challenged their personal beliefs. In a world of fear and polarization and othering, Abara is inspiring connections across divides. Remember Jake, who came to visit with us? He left us thinking about the immigrant not as other, but as neighbor. And we hear this over and over again. In fact, just 3 weeks ago, we received this quote from a visitor. "I met my enemy, and he was not my enemy." We're working alongside everyone from local and state entities to national and global organizations as we develop a world-class Borderland Center. We're at the beginning stages of a $15 million capital campaign where we're building out a self-sustaining center that can serve tens of thousands of people for the generation to come. We would love for you to join us in this work, whether that be through financial partnership, by visiting with us on the border, or opening up doors to connect us to expertise in capital campaigns or historic property redevelopment. Thank you.